Take your seat. Oh. Hello. Oh. No, I can't see any of you. That's all right. Welcome. This is the Warframe Partner Panel. I have some beautiful guests with me today that we are going to have a bit of a discussion with. There will be a chance for audience Q&A if I don't answer any of your questions, even though I'm probably going to address all of them. And let's just get started. Can we see the PowerPoint? Is it up? There it is.
That's a beautiful picture of all of us.
I tried to get your best angles. I tried. All right. So, to start it off. Oh, me. Sorry. Yeah. Hello. My name is Megan Everett. I am the community manager. Sometimes I manage these guys. Sometimes. Only sometimes. I can only hold them back so far. And this is the face that happened from Vegemite. Thanks, Skilla.
It's my best ever video, can I say? Like, of all the videos I've ever made, that's the one I'm proudest of.
You're
no
proud
question.
of that?
Very proud.
I'm glad.
Yeah, good.
If you don't know, Reb literally vomited, so he's proud of that moment. But, in all seriousness, let's talk about who our guests are. So who are these gentlemen? We're going to go down the line. So please tell me, and to the audience, your name. It can be real or not, because I don't know if Skillup usually tells his real name.
It's not a secret.
What's that?
I say it's not a secret.
It's not a secret, but I don't, like, who knows Skillup's real name? Put your hand up.
Oh, thank
See?
you.
Barely,
That's nice.
barely anyone.
That's nice. Yeah,
Barely
you're right.
anyone.
Barely anyone. I agree.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so we're going to go down the line. I'm going to tell your name, where people can find you on the internet if they are unaware, what kind of content you make, and also your answer to where did Space Mom go?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ralph. I have a YouTube channel called Skill Up, and I have another channel called Layman Gaming. Please don't watch that channel. I do YouTube reviews for different sorts of games, including Warframe, and I also do news on the other channel. And I sort of upload a few times a week, and that's it. So where did Space Mom go? She went to her happy place. That's where she went. That's where
Good
Space
answer.
Mom is.
That's a good answer. Magamu.
This is a repeat of last year. Magamu. I've been making Warframe videos since the beginning of time, which is about 5 years. YouTube.com/Magamu. And I have been accused of a bad pun every now and then. I'm sorry about that. And as far as where Space Mom went, she got a new man, so she had to.
As you saw at the last panel, she did get a new man, if you know what I'm saying.
She's into some
Rare,
things.
rare. All right, Frozen.
Hi, my name is Frozen Balls. I do a lot of Twitch streaming. I do like min-maxing and a few other things on Twitch, which you can find at twitch.tv/Frozen Balls. And I do a lot of YouTube stuff as well, where it's doing discussion videos with the community, talking about different things in Warframe, talking about stuff that comes up, like new content, for example. So that's what the kind of stuff I do. With regards to Space Mom, I ain't got a clue where she's gone. All I know is she's gone to Tau, and that's, we're gonna see what happens with that.
All right. Mr. Daniel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel the Demon. You can find me on Twitch mainly, but I do broadcast or have videos on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter and every other social media platform under the same name. The content that I create is a lot of Warframe hype. Just come on in. Let's help you guys get the items that you need kind of content. I'm here to make sure that we can help you out. Just all that kind of good stuff, and all about fun and just going crazy. Where Space Mom went? She went to my heart.
Aww.
Space Mom's in my heart.
That's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
Good answer, guys. All right, so kind of the overview of what we're going to be doing today. I kind of polled Twitter like a week ago because I didn't know what questions to ask them, so I used my Twitter to ask questions. So I grabbed questions from them, and then we will have a section if you guys want to ask them questions. And then time permitting, I do have a bit of trivia for each of them that they don't know about, so that could be exciting. And then just a really quick talk about what they think Warframe's future is going to be. So we'll jump right into the Twitter Q&A. So this one is from iFlynn, if anyone knows iFlynn. And he says, initial purpose, this is a question for obviously everyone on the panel. Initial purpose for starting their Twitch/YouTube channel. I know Agamu's was to share Warframe with friends, but I would like to know why Frozen, SkillUp, and Daniel started too. So SkillUp,
Shall I
you
start?
want to take it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I started YouTube, it was actually because I wanted to start a website and I wanted to like aggregate YouTube videos so you could easily filter out the shit and find only good videos on this website, right?
my
Because
God.
YouTube search algorithm is garbage. So I started this thing and then I thought, hey, I should have a YouTube channel to promote that website. It turns out the website was a crappy idea that no one wanted to, but people were watching my YouTube channel. So eventually I became a YouTuber and I wanted to do like, you know, guides and you know, maximum DPS in the division, etc. And then it eventually evolved to become a sort of review/commentary channel. So that journey has been like totally weird and unexpected, and I think anyone that starts out in this space is probably going to find as well that they're going to start with one idea of what they want and then end up somewhere completely different, and that's, yeah, totally what happened to me. So that's my story.
With regards to streaming, it started off as I finished university. I was looking for work, and you know, stuff wasn't going well. And I also had like 6 cases of bereavement, one after the other. So Twitch basically became a coping mechanism for me. Meeting new people, talking to more people, finding a way to just kind of forget, you know, the stress of life, and then just kind of deal with, or just play with people, have some jokes, have some banter. And 2.5 years later, I'm here. I don't even know what happened, but it's just one of those things that started off as a part-time thing, and now you're just here playing games with people, meeting people like Daniel, Magamu, SkillUp, you guys at DE, and it's just been crazy. Yeah, it's been pretty good. So I think with regards to it, it started off as a personal thing. Now it's just, I just love playing games with people. It's really fun. So yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Dude, my story on that end is like on your latter half is how I feel as well. It started for me on Twitch as I was just a full-time worker at a tech company job. I was a support guy. I was getting beaten in the ear by so many customers yelling, screaming, crying about a tech not working or something, and I was just like, dang, this is not something that I want to do. But at the same time, I didn't have anything else that I was wondering or wanting to work for or wanting to get into until someone that was brand new into the job came in and he's like, dude, you have the personality for a platform called Twitch. Have you ever heard of it? I'm like, yeah, I've done little videos here and there. I did videos with my brother and some other friends so we can be able to share videos and laugh about it, but it was never to go out public or anything. He said, try it. Give it 6 months. If it doesn't work, quit. All right, I tried, because I told him, there's so many thousands of people broadcasting. There's so many, it's inflated. I'm not gonna go anywhere. And so when I started, I didn't want to get anywhere. I just wanted to have fun. But it, like exactly how you stated, it just was a ball rolling. It was fun. People started to enjoy our content, enjoy my content, and it just became something that I never thought it would be 2.5 years later.
Agamu, I don't know if you want to repeat your story. Go ahead, feel free.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the only one that didn't set out to be a YouTuber or a streamer or something. Essentially, I tried Warframe, and I liked it, and a friend of mine's computer couldn't, like, it was early, it wasn't that well optimized. And I was making videos to show my friends Warframe. So I made a few videos, I think some of the earlier ones, and I came back and they had like 3,000-4,000 views. I'm like, what? So, and then I saw the comments and people were saying, hey, you know, this game looks cool, upload some more. So, accidental YouTuber. It wasn't intentional, but I mean, I would never take it back. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. All right, next question comes from Dark Vramp on Twitter. He said, hardest decision made about branding yourself on YouTube or Twitch, and what went into that decision? Let's talk about branding, Skilla.
Branding, yeah, sure. I think the challenge, like for me personally, I had a channel that was very much about guides and informational stuff and strategy for a specific game, and that was for the Division. And I was like the DPS guy, and I'll teach you which guns you'll use and whatever else. And then I decided at one point, that's not going to make me happy for like 30 years. If I did that for 30 years, that would not, in my view, be how I want to spend my time. So I said to myself, I want to pivot my channel and I want to become someone that talks about all the games and in a completely different way. And that was really hard. Like, it took about a year of work to make that pivot in terms of like rebranding myself, getting a new community behind me. The comments, no comments saying, "Oh, stop with this garbage, please get back to the Division, only upload, Division videos, etc." Pushing through that over that time was definitely the hardest thing I've had to do in YouTube. And it was really long and it was really uncertain. There was no guarantee that I would be able to emerge with that new approach, but luckily it sort of fell into place and that was it. So yeah, it was the best thing I've ever done, but no question the hardest decision I made on the channel.
Why I have to ask, why Skill Up?
Well, but before, the website was entirely about guides for like how to get good at games. So my original motto was skill up, get good, was like my catchphrase, right? Just garbage. Have you seen me play Warframe? So it's like that old brand just had to die because it was not about that anymore. But the name just stuck because, I don't know. I often think about, should I just become Ralph as opposed to like Skill Up? But Ralph's a terrible name.
Well, you don't want to do like an IHOP situation.
No, it's a bad idea. Like new Coke, old Coke. You don't mess with a thing when it's working.
Don't mess with a good thing.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, that's me.
Magamu?
Branding? Well, I had a small blog a while ago. It was called Movies, Games, Music. And it wasn't to review. It was just literally just uploading screenshots and stuff. And we acronymed it Mogamu. And so when I came to YouTube, I just left it there. So it just kind of ended up being that. As far as, I guess, branding is tough because you guys are basically our bosses. Is that fair? So whatever you guys like, we'll just continue doing sometimes and try to do more of it. If I had to change anything, I think I would love to view things more differently, like through the lens of lore and story, because we got a lot more of that now. So maybe less guides, more story, more lore, I think. That's what I'm kind of looking to do.
All right.
With regarding branding, it was a bit of a hard decision because how do you market Frozen Balls? It was a very hard decision.
Why do you even want Frozen Balls as your name?
I've had that gaming name for 17 years when I was very young, and I was like, all right, no one else has it, I'm sticking with it. And I kind of just embraced it with it, and I guess everyone just kind of, it's actually a really good icebreaker, pardon the pun, but it's a really good icebreaker with conversations. People come up and ask, why Frozen Balls? And then I tell them the story. And then, conversations start flying off. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I never changed it. I just kind of left it as is. Obviously, there are some upsides and downsides to dealing with something like that. When it's kind of like borderline inappropriate, I guess. You have to sometimes deal with some companies don't want to work with you, or some people don't want to mention it because, it infringes on what they say. Luckily, you guys were not like that, so that was very, very
Frozen
handy.
Balls. It's all right.
But yeah, when it comes to branding, you have to think a lot about it, and eventually, it also takes into account the kind of content you're creating. So I started off with min-maxing. Now I do a bunch of things. I play Warframe. I play with viewers. I've done endurance runs. I've done the whole min-maxing. I've done the fashion frame. So it changes, and this is that type of industry that you kind of have to evolve as it requires. Because if you don't, you kind of get left in the dust. It moves too fast.
Yeah.
So you adjust and you improvise and you reiterate to fit into what is needed in the current day and age. So Frozen Balls is not going anywhere though, but everything else changes. So yeah.
Do you have any regrets about naming Frozen Balls your
No.
brand?
Oh, I'm happy with it.
You're good?
Other people are not, but I'm happy with it. So it's all good. It's a them problem.
It's a personal problem. All right, Daniel, my man.
All right, so for branding, I'm actually a horror enthusiast, meaning that I collect a lot of horror memorabilia. I collect VHS films. I collect the vinyls for the VHS film soundtracks. I'm very into it. I've been into it since young. I always grew up around horror films, even though I was not allowed to watch them during the time, because again, growing up, you shouldn't be seeing all those vivid things, but it's something that I loved seeing, all that kind of crazy stuff, so my parents already thought I was a demon and something crazy. So I've always named myself Daniel the Demon, and I've even put it on Instagram, and that's where it started. So on Instagram, it was Daniel the Demon. It was just my normal name, which is Daniel Valenti. But then I was just like, no. I want to be Daniel the Demon because I wanted to show off my horror collection. And then from there, that's when I was introduced into Twitch, and I'm like, I'm going to be Daniel the Demon. You know what I'm saying? I'm Daniel the Demon. So when I went into Twitch as that, I wanted to do it my way, the way that it's like 1980s Blade Runner dark synthwave style. I wanted to get it like a horror yet cheesy but funny kind of thing. Like, that's my whole entire channel, what it's based on. We talk about movie puns, or not movie puns, excuse me. Movie, how would I say it, quotes. We talk about a lot of different scenarios. I do a lot of different skits here and there. It's a lot of cool things that I can be able to play because, again, that's the branding that I wanted and that I went for. Everyone asks me, like, you're not so scary. You're not chaining to a demon. You're the nicest person out there. Well, the name isn't supposed to depict who I am. I am who I am. I'm Daniel the Demon, and I tell them the story. And so that's how my branding went, and it's going very well. Dark synthwave and that whole entire future punk or cyberpunk, excuse me, era is really growing. So I'm really glad that I was able to hone into that. So I want to go with that.
I think just one point that I would make here is that with regards to how you brand yourself, just remember in this space you decide how you brand yourself. Your audience, if you wanted to sell pages, that's not going to happen. You can't bring the pager back. But online, if you're passionate about something, you can create a demand for it if you want to. If you really love horror, then you're going to be able to find an audience that wants that, and you're going to be able to make a living off sharing that passion with others. So when it comes to your branding, don't think about what do I think other people want me to say. Just think about what do I really want to say. And if you can find that thing and put it out there well enough, then you are unquestionably going to be successful. So I think that's always my guiding light with any kind of branding question that I have.
Well
I concur. I concur.
Well put. All right. The next question for our panelists comes from Ethan Taylor. How much time and dedication does it take to maintain a career on either YouTube or Twitch? Who wants to tackle that one?
I guess I'll start on this end. So, in the beginning, it was a really, really hard thing to schedule, to even have a schedule, because when you go in, or when I went in, I was so gun-ho. I'm like, I want to do this. I want to hurry up and be on the stream, because I was working full-time. And then after working full-time, I want to go stream right away so I can be able to, see the viewers that I've met, be able to grow more in the community, be able to meet new people, things like that. And the only way to do that is time doing it. So it took away time from my now fiance. It was girlfriend at the time. I know, thank you.
Where are you,
but
Natalie?
she's the biggest advocate. I love her so dang much for doing this. She stuck with me through the whole entire hardship. It was very hard that she couldn't even sometimes go to sleep with me because I'm still broadcasting, super excited, wanting to show and doing as much content as possible. But as time grew, we started talking. She knew that there was things that we needed to slow down on the stream. I didn't want to. I had to find a happy medium for our relationship, for our life, and for work as well, because I was always going into work sleepy, because again, I would broadcast till very late. So the main thing about broadcasting, and I tell it to everyone, if you ever want to get on Twitch or even YouTube, you need to have a schedule and set that schedule. So make it reasonable to where it's going to be, you can live your life and be able to broadcast, but don't overexert yourself and kill yourself or lose your loved one or anything just because you went gun-ho, like kind of how I did. But you have to find that happy medium. So definitely I found the happy medium. I broadcast about 8 hours a day because this became my full-time job now. So I treat it as a full-time job. I broadcast 8 hours. After that, if I want to do more, I could, but I schedule it.
Yeah, I think from me personally, I work 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. So, but it's different with YouTube and with Twitch, okay? Because you guys have to be on, you know what I mean? You guys are doing your thing, and you have to bring that energy. And if you did that for 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, it's you'd probably die pretty fast. With YouTube, you get to sort of manage or meter your own energy in a different way, Now, I wouldn't actually say to anyone that wants to be on YouTube that you have to work those hours, but those are the hours that I choose to work because I love it, and I have my wife who supports me in that, and the kind of content that I make requires a lot of time. It's if you've ever watched my videos, there's a lot of editing and scripting and whatever, but that's the choice that I make. But if you want to choose to do different types of content that's shorter, sharper, faster, you can do that as well. Don't ever look at someone else's hours and say that's what I need to put in to be successful, because you will find your own success with however you want, again, so long as you're being, you're putting in that thing. But I would say that it's about, your commitment to it. I worked 2 years full time at a bank, and that was 8 hours a day. And then I came home and I worked 8 hours a day on YouTube for 2 years. I slept for 4 hours a night during that time to make, you know, this possible. It really is just about like, what do you want to put in, how much do you want it, and how do you be smart with those hours? Because when you find that right balance of energy and time, and you have the right people around you to support you, then you'll manage it. But yeah, it's definitely not easy. I will say that it's hard work.
I think motivation is also a very important factor, because for me, when I started, it was just to spend time, play games, and just forget all the real life stuff for a while, right? And over time, it changes to the point where your priorities change. The more you stream, and depending on how successful or unsuccessful you are, your priorities change. Even with YouTube, I'm sure it's the same as well. Schedule is very important for Twitch, as you mentioned, and Daniel knows this as well really well, that if you don't have consistency, people are less likely to return, because we are a creature of habit. Ultimately, if you say that you're going to be live 5 days a week for 4 hours, people will still come in and tune in. But if you say you're going to be live for 5 days a week and you only you go live for 2 days, people are like, where's the schedule? So they're like, oh, I'll just go watch someone else who's consistent. So consistency and schedule is definitely an important thing. But at the same time, you also have to think about your motivations for Twitch. Are you looking to make it into a business? Are you looking at it to be a something you do just as an enjoyment thing? And those motivations will help you decide where you want to take it next. So sometimes you have to make short decisions as well as long-term goals. And once you make those, it becomes a lot easier to deal with it. Having said that, sometimes you also have to make sacrifices about a lot of things, which people may not see them. But you know at the back of your mind that you've made those sacrifices, you've made those changes to make this successful. Especially if you've got commitments, case in point, like with you and Natalie, for example. You've got commitments there, so that's some sacrifices made over there. With me, it was with university and work and everything there. Then I'm sure you guys have had made sacrifices as well. So there are things like that which you have to take into account when it comes to making and building up a YouTube channel or even a streaming channel as well. But having said that, I don't think anyone should ever be demotivated by what we're saying. It's just there's work and there's a way of going about it, but there's no one true method to it. Everyone has their own way of doing it. I did it my own way. Like, I played Mozart on stream while I'm killing Grenier. He's yelling into the microphone. And, he's doing 30-minute long reviews about, what he had for breakfast. And Magamu's just making puns all the time. So, there are different things that work for different people. So you got to find your center for the most part.
For the most part, these guys are crazy, but there's a lot of method to their madness. So the first YouTube check I ever got was $15, and I was excited. Like, I called up all my friends. I was like, I made $15 doing nothing, and they were like, "Okay, dude, fine." It's like, okay, but I had to explain it to them. But I guess kind of in that moment, I was like, well, this is crazy, but let's just go for it. So as far as time commitment, nothing I tell you is going to be right. So the only thing I would say is if you want to make content, because I know a lot of people have said that today, just be crazy, but manage your crazy. Because if you're not crazy, it's harder to accomplish your goals, if that makes sense. As far as how much time I've committed at full steam, we're talking 10 hours a day. That's playing the game, reviewing, streaming, uploading videos, and it's just like, surround yourself with the right people that don't think you're crazy, and just manage the crazy, and you can pretty much do anything.
I think the other thing we didn't mention is, like, when you're not on, you're still on. I don't know about you guys, but like social media, it's always 100%.
Always.
It's the first thing I reach for in the morning when I wake up. It's the last thing when I go to bed. You know what I mean? My wife does not like that. But like, it's the reality that if you're in this world, you are constantly thinking about the numbers and the metrics and what's happening in the news and social media and like all the shit. It's just constantly in your head. So if you go down this path as well, like, I think you need to build some barriers for yourself, but you also have to recognize that it's probably not possible to maintain those barriers. Like, just being real, like, you just have to be willing to live with that, because that's what this business is, I think. So that's my view.
One other thing as well, I think having something unique to yourself, which you can bring to the table, makes it easier to make a name for yourself and building a channel up. With me, it was like, like early morning streams when I'm doing that, because I have a job as well alongside, just like Skill Up. So I'm doing my work, my job, and once that's done, I come back home, take a little bit of rest, and then I set up the stream and I do that. So when I'm doing my normal stream, I've got my interaction, got the webcam on, talking to people and all that kind of stuff. But if I've got a day off and I start an early morning stream, I just play Mozart or I play some chill hop. I don't have my webcam on, I don't have my microphone on. I've just got the music on and I'm just playing. But I still keep within that schedule of what I currently have. Like I'm only going to stream so many hours, so people know that that's the schedule that I'm going to stick to. And that definitely does help as well. And you'd be surprised how many people may be interested in watching something like that as well, because you don't see a lot of people playing Mozart on stream. You don't see a lot of people playing where they're just playing the game and just enjoying the game. So consider something out of the box. That definitely does help as well.
All right. Moving on. This question is from Bife. It says, how does one properly utilize memes for the benefit of one's channel?
You just gotta put the picture up. That's all you gotta do. That's how you utilize the memes. Just put them on. No, in all honesty, Warframe is a meme itself, literally.
Hey.
It is amazing. Everything in Warframe, possibly you can make a meme out of it. We even have a prime pine cone that you guys sold on April Fool's Day. It was great. How do you not utilize your memes? Like, it's just everywhere. It's like, you know, all the plat. It's all flying out. Like, it's all the memes.
I feel like there's one person that's fully qualified to answer this, and she's not here. Shy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I feel like, let's be
Shy,
real
please.
here. If it's about memes, she's a meme queen. So we just have to deflect to her. Like that's it.
All right, we'll see if she answers that question on Twitter, Shy, if you're listening, or you're not, because you're not here. Maybe later. All right, we'll move on to the next question then. This is from Daniel San. He said, if you could change one thing you did wrong on YouTube that would have helped your growth, what would it be? Any regrets, my friends?
Well, I
No.
think to anyone, and please speak up if you feel incorrect about it, but I feel that you have to do things wrong to learn, to be able to better yourself. Because if you didn't, you always have that mind of, I'm doing everything right, I'm the best kind of thing, and no offense, you're not, or no one's the best. We're all trying to do something different in our own way to be able to entertain and give content out. If we did something wrong, that's why there's feedback. We get feedback. This feedback helps us, and we can then say, are we going to take that feedback and help and do better? If it is good feedback that you want to take, or is it feedback that was a bit more that you don't want to use or you don't want to do, so you keep doing whatever you're going to do, and if those people don't like it, whatever. There's many different factors for it, but again, in all honesty, I feel that you have to do things wrong, or at least experience it, to be able to do better and learn from mistakes.
It's harder to see mistakes, I think. Someone once told me, iterate, don't perfect, and that's been like super good advice. Pretty much don't try to do something perfect out of the gate, but just do it once badly, and then listen to people's feedback, and that's what I try to do. So it's a little harder for me to identify what what could have gone better or something. It's just listening to feedback and just getting it done and then doing it better the next time. So.
I think for me, I was definitely in a trap of like, I need to upload as regularly as possible. I need to feed the algorithm, because the more I upload, the more likely YouTube is to push my videos out, the more people will know me, the more content I'll make, etc. It's all about numbers. That's the absolute wrong approach if you want to be successful on YouTube. Like, if you stop and you put some work into something and you curate something quality, that thing is going to resonate and just bounce around places you'd never expect. So I would just say, if you want to go down that YouTube path, don't try and do the daily upload thing at the start. I really strongly recommend against it. I recommend doing something good that you put a lot of work into, and it's going to suck at first, as you said, but then the next one is going to suck less, and the next one sucks less, and eventually you're going to create something great, and it will have come out at a rhythm that your audience is like, hey, I can see this is a thing that's getting better. I'm on board for this, So take that time to really invest in creating something quality, as opposed to just spamming out garbage, because that's what I did, and I wish I didn't.
I think Mogama said it best. Iteration is the best way of kind of building up, because you learn from your mistakes. And if you learn from your mistakes, you get better with it. And then you know what works, what doesn't work. If you don't learn from your mistakes, then, you know, you'll obviously see that happening. You'll see what happens when you don't learn from your mistakes. But there are days when I know I've made a wrong decision for my stream. And I've seen the repercussions for that as well. And then I know other days when I made the right decision and I see, you know, the benefits of all that as well. So definitely sometimes you kind of have to try. There's a little bit of trial and error, but there's also the case of just kind of, it's kind of like a rapid action development plan, right? You do something over and over and over until you get it right, until it's in the right position for kind of giving it out to someone. It's the same thing with this. The more you do, the more you practice, the more you kind of throw it out to your community, you know, the more feedback you get back, and then you kind of use that to build it all up. So, yeah.
All right. Our next question is from 3044 Smike. They said, how often do you play the game just for fun, not leveling or grinding, or for a video or stream or anything, just to shoot things and pin the pieces to walls?
A lot. Like I said, the streams which I do in the morning are literally just me wanting to play the game. It's just, like, I get to play with the community, I get to hang out with the community, yes, but it's me just wanting to play a game and not have to answer questions, not have to do anything else. Just listen to music, enjoy the murder that's happening with the Grenier screaming as you are listening to Mozart, Bach, and all that kind of stuff. So I do that quite often. And it's kind of important that you take time out and you play games because you need time to kind of relax and get out of that streamer mindset, out of the YouTuber mindset, just to kind of have time where you can do stuff on your own and just kind of enjoy the game for what it is. Because if you never get a chance to enjoy the stuff which you do, how are you going to be hyped up to make more content for it? How are you going to be interested in doing any of that kind of stuff if you don't spend time just appreciating everything you've done or appreciating what the game has to offer for you? So, yeah, it's quite a lot of time.
I wish I could play more. I really can. I really do. I play so much on stream, and I play it, and I love it. And then once I get home, or once I'm finished, I'm like, I want to go to bed, or I'm hungry, or like something. Like I want to get out, or go outside for something. And again, I broadcast 8 hours a day, so it's a full-time job. When I'm done, I want to spend time with my family and things like that. When I have times to play games, it usually isn't going right back to Warframe because there's so many other games out there that I want to experience, that I want to bring into the stream and stuff like that. So I honestly wish I can play more, but I am very happy to say that I've been getting back into it recently because a lot of people have been purchasing things off my little store that I have where I re-give out primes and stuff like that I've already collected and have extras of. People can get it from my channel from collecting, from watching. And so when off stream, people ask, can I get it? And so when I give it to them, I give them the primes, and then I just, all right, let's go play. And then I play with them for a little bit. Again, for about 30 minutes to an hour, but there's not that, oh, I'm gonna play till like for 24 hours without a stream or anything like that because I want to be able to do that. Because the content that we see there and we wanna be able to do that, we wanna do it on stream. Because we wanna give our reaction.
Yeah.
I play Warframe for fun, about 3 hours a day, 3 to 4 times per week. So about 10 hours a day of just playing for fun. So essentially, like, I don't claim anything from the art, the foundry, or anything. I just relax. But the key is, why not just turn the stream on? So I'm actually not streaming professionally. I'm playing anyway, and I just turn the stream on. And you can kind of see that in my streaming content. We don't really talk about builds and that type of stuff. It's just like, hey man, let's just run some missions and meme out. So less than 10 hours per week, probably, just hard number.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges I face, because I have a review-focused channel, so I always need to be playing new games, and I need to play them a lot. And to be able to like review them, it means like 30 to 40 hours per game. It means I get almost no time just to play a game for fun, and that includes Warframe. Like I really haven't played it much in the last few months. In fact, I was able to come back to it for the sacrifice, and I was like, shit, man, this is ridiculous. How have I not been playing this? I've missed this so much. It's like the number one thing that I think the weird, ironic trade-off of my job is that like we play games for a living, but it's very hard sometimes just to play games for fun. Personally, and I know Mogami said he's able to do that. The kind of way that I'm doing it, it's a lot harder to do that, and I really wish I had more of a balance because, yeah, I don't think it's good to not be playing games for fun. If it's always work, it's not great, and it's a balance that I'm trying to find, and I definitely have not found it yet. No.
All right. Our next question is from Warframe, and they said, "Why do you do what you do? What motivates you?"
You guys.
Aww.
You guys motivate us. We wouldn't be doing this over and over and over again if it weren't for you. We probably would, but not on stream and stuff like that. We would just do it on the side or two friends. For me, in my opinion, the reason why I continuously do it, and even want to go earlier and stuff like that, so I can be able to continuously entertain and show you guys what I'm excited for. So that's my short, sweet answer.
I'm pretty much the same as Daniel. You know, when you have a positive feedback loop, when you've got a community that supports you and interacts with you and responds with you, you get that energy, and then, you know, positively gets you hyped up, and you want to keep on streaming, you want to keep creating content, because you're getting such a good feedback from the crowd. They're like, yeah, we're watching the stream, it's amazing, I get to spend time with the streamer, I get to spend time with the YouTuber and all that. That energy drives a lot of people. Like, just being able to talk to your community and being able to play games with them, or just ask them how their day is going and having an interaction going, banter going on with them, makes a big difference. And that gives me the energy. Even if I had a really bad day at work, if I turn my stream on, I know I've got people like Calvia right there, you know, coming in, just kind of mocking me or saying something really stupid. But at the same time, we all know it's just fun in games. And that kind of stuff keeps me going. And, you know, that's basically the best thing I can say about it. It's a positive feedback loop that keeps us going.
Yeah, same thing. It's just community feedback. Like, that's what brings us back, pretty much. So that's the easy answer.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit different in the sense that, like, I just really, really, really love video games a lot. Like, a lot. So I just like talking about them. Like, I kind of have always said I would absolutely still continue to do what I do, even if I didn't have an audience. It would just mean that I would have to go back to work and do it in my spare time. Like, what I enjoy doing is just analyzing something, putting something out there that, like, that says something, you know, and, like, that's where I draw real sort of encouragement from. Just that process of work, the process of thinking about things and putting something together is what I really draw motivation from. Community is amazing, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't draw some strength from that, but that's why I get up in the morning, and that's what sort of drives me the most.
All right. Next is from Pandozer. They said, "What made Warframe special, unique, and why were you committed to that game?" Tell me good things.
Go on.
Warframe is different. I think what makes Warframe unique, first of all, it's not the same game it was 4 years ago. You guys know that. What makes it different is it's just not in a box. It's really not. From the moment I started playing this game to a year in, it's like, oh, it's not just this Diablo clone, and tomorrow it's Dynasty Warriors. Okay, got it. It's Dynasty Warriors. And then, 2015 rolled around. It's not Dynasty Warriors. It's one of the first looter shooters. Like, okay, and it just keeps evolving. And I think the fact that it's not in a box is what keeps pulling me back in, as far as being, this is interesting what's going on. So I think that's the most unique thing. So many games are, like, clearly defined about what they are, but Warframe is constantly evolving. Like, even last year, like, open world and et cetera. So I think that's the thing that keeps it fresh, is that it's almost genre morphing in a way. It's weird, but it's cool.
For me, I've been looking for a game for a while since Global Agenda kind of ended, for a new game to play. Warframe's been that game for the past 5.5 years because it's unique. The combat is amazing, the art style is amazing, the visuals are absolutely fantastic. And I haven't, to this day, found a game to replace Warframe. Because I've played a bunch of games, and I've been looking at other games as well. Some of you may remember Firefall. That was a game which came around the same time as Warframe, and I was like, all right, this game has potential, but I kind of stuck with Warframe because it was just so much fun. It was so different. It was so unique. You had this different combat. You had this different movement. You had all these different melee styles and all that kind of stuff. And all that combined together, it was just like, all right, this is pretty fun. I'm going to stick around playing this game for a while. So, yeah, I think it's just the uniqueness of the game and the fact that we haven't had something like this in the industry in so long. And it's been absolutely insane seeing where the game started off on a Corpus tile set to all the tile sets that we have now. Anyone remember Nervos? We don't have those anymore, so you know that was a good change as well.
Yeah, I think for me personally, Warframe just seemed, because I've only been playing Warframe for a year, and I was playing Destiny for like 2 years before then, and I was like, Destiny's the greatest thing ever, and I had this real like understanding of how a game should be with regards to like that looter shooter genre. Playing Warframe, it just kind of like blew my mind. It just seemed to break all these rules at once with regards to player power and movement and its scale, its design, its business model. Like it was this completely unique offering that was really just totally, yeah, as I said, mind-changing. But I think what really sealed it was the community, because like walking into the Warframe community was like walking into no other gaming community I've ever walked into. It was crazy how welcoming people were. People would just spam you all the time with helpful stuff. Before the videos I did or anything, no one knew I was a YouTuber, no one knew anything, and they were just like, hey dude, welcome, I'm gonna help you out, you know, like I'm gonna add you to my friends list, we're gonna sort you out. And just that constant interaction I just found so amazing, and seeing that exist on a macro level as well, I was like, okay, there's something really special here, because you don't find that everywhere.
Oh man, Warframe. Why do I keep playing it?
Hey.
So let me tell you.
Hey.
Let me tell you. Well, I remember I started Warframe 4 years ago. It was still in its first year. Unfortunately, I didn't even know about Excalibur Prime. I wasn't too into it. I played on and off whenever friends would play, and whenever they would download and they would be like, you want to come and play with us? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, we're playing Warframe. It got updated and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I would love to see what it's all about. And once I started broadcasting it, this was when I had about a year of hiatus, and I didn't play Warframe for about a year. This is when Warframe's Parkour 2.0 came out. And that's what sold me, man. I know, parkour, why? I like to move like a ninja. I like to go everywhere. I like to bounce around. And that movement was so solid. It was so sick. Coming back in where you had to do the whole entire tutorial, even though I came in with a Loki, you know, you could pick, that was before when you used to pick Loki, Excalibur, and what was the Bolt? Or Mag. I don't know which one it was. It was one of the two, but Loki was one of them. I picked Loki, and having to go back into the tutorial to do the Parkour 2.0, it blew my mind. And I was like, all right, nice. I was like, I thought I already did stuff. Is this a new character and whatnot? But nope, everything was still there, saved, ready to go, and I was like, heck yes. That's when I started broadcasting it, because I saw some of my broadcasting buddies play, and they were loving it, and I was like, all right, let's go. So once I started broadcasting it, the day I started broadcasting it, the community went nuts. Literally, they went nuts. Oh, you new to Warframe? Oh, you like Warframe? Here, I had at least the first week over 100 gifts sent to me, and they were all Noggles. Noggles and Forma bundles. Noggles and Forma bundles. If you look at my ship, if you've ever seen any of my broadcasts, literally the front of the ship is covered in Noggles. Me and Reb have a freaking like competition. Who's gonna be the one that breaks the system? But in all honesty, it was all because of you guys on that one. So definitely, it's been a game that has been surprising me nonstop. The updates continuously update to new things that blow our minds. The amount of characters that keep coming out, the Warframes, the story, like how can you not stay on this game or at least want to continue playing this game as it continues? It's been a hell of a ride, and I cannot wait for the next 5 years. It's gonna be sick.
I think as well, like DE, you know, like that's a thing. Like the way that DE is as a developer, like transparency, the way they talk to their community is also pretty rare and pretty special. Like you all probably play lots of other games. I guarantee that most of the developers you know don't work the way that DE works, you know, and I think that's a big part of the special sauce that, you know, that they've got going on.
Yeah, give a round of applause to DE, man. Come on. Heck yeah, man.
All right, we're gonna move into some lighter questions. Dear Dog wants to know your favorite moment in a Warframe cinematic quest.
There's a lot. Can I pick two?
One moment. Just get
Okay, one moment. I'm not gonna go for the obvious. Balance crossing his legs. I feel like you guys had a sense of humor there. You know, I mean, you saw it earlier. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
So that's my best moment because it's a little self-aware. So I love that.
I think for me it must have been when the Thresher Maw first popped up. Sorry, when the Golden Maw popped up. I screamed like a little girl. I don't think I've gone that high pitch before because I wasn't expecting it. Luckily, I was doing a cinematic stream, so my microphone and thing was muted, but it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I woke my family up as well, and they came rushing into the room. It's like, what's going on, what's going on? I'm like, don't worry about it, I just got scared, go back to bed. But yeah, that was a pretty interesting moment.
Yeah.
My favorite cinematic moment. Well, I wouldn't say it's moment, but moments was when I was able to be invited to the War Within and be able to broadcast on the Warframe's channel about the War Within and showing you guys my reaction for the first 2 hours. That was one of the greatest and most insane moments, watching so many people watch you fail at that part in the War Within, and I kept crashing, kept getting seen and stuff like that. It was hilarious, but it was definitely cool. I loved it.
I remember I was doing a live stream of War Within, and I was sucking, and like everyone was watching. Was like, "Oh man, this is so bad." And then I was getting up to the part with the sandworms, like underneath. You know what I mean? That part? Yeah. The maw, yeah. And everyone's like, "Man, this guy's gonna fail this like 500 times. This is gonna be painful. Settle in, everybody." And then just as I started doing it, my character model bugged out, and he was just in this T pose, like. And then I was able just to walk over the sand. And that was it, like Jesus across the sand like this. So the stream just felt so cheated. They were like, oh man, we were waiting for fail. I'm like, unsubscribing. I'm like, fair enough. So that was it.
Yeah, it's a good Twitch clip too, if you want to look at it. It's his highest Twitch clip.
I think the devs actually messaged me after that. They're like, yeah, we're going to fix that bug.
We did.
That's right, yeah, you did.
We did literally message you. We're like, oh, sorry about that. All right, this next question is painfully close to my heart. This is from Cody. He says, can be asked to anyone on the panel, did you enjoy the Trials missions? And what changes could be made in order to put them back in the game?
I've never done Trials, so pass.
I enjoyed them the first week or so. And I loved having in-game content. Like, I really like, you guys know we played for 5 years, like, you want stuff to do. But I think the issue with them was either they were guess what the developer's thinking, no offense, or they were muscle memory. So if there was any change, I would have hoped that it would be more unpredictable, something that it's, I don't want to say it's different every time you play it, but it challenges you every time you play it, instead of becoming routine, you know, just every day.
I've done a lot of Trials. Like, I used to speedrun them with the clan, and I was a bit sad when they were removed. Personally, I think the best way to bring them back would be to kind of remove the 8-man aspect of it and just bring them back as a 4-man mission. Because more often than not, when people were speedrunning them, you would see people doing Law of Retribution with a 4-man squad. And even same with JV. Like, the thing about JV and Law of Retribution, JV specifically, was you've got multiple steps you got to take, which requires multiple Warframes in order to get to the next stage. And that's how Razer designed it. That was the best aspect of it. Like, it promoted a lot of co-op play, and that was a really, really good design of JV, albeit it was a bit of a cluster. Fuck. So, you know, other than that, the raid itself was designed pretty well. I think by making it into a 4-man raid, and I guess changing a little bit of some of the enemies and how it works, I think it could be brought back, and I think it could be a really nice way of having like that game mode. Because I know there's a lot of people who enjoyed it, but at the same time, there's another. The community was kind of split in between who enjoyed doing raids and who didn't. So yeah.
I know everyone's probably gonna hate me on this one. It's okay. You can hate me. I did not enjoy any of the Trials. I know, and I will tell you why. So, the Trials, when I started, they were, to me, from everyone that's told me, they are called raids. They are raids. These are raids that you want to go join a raid with me. Okay, I'm a big advocate on raids on many MMOs and things like that. I've seen what raids are. When I went into this raid, to me, it felt like more of a mini dungeon, not even a dungeon. Dungeons, you know, they have multiple bosses to lead to a bigger boss possibly. There's multiple mechanics as a team that you need to do. The mechanics on the Law of Retribution was awesome, where you had to, you know, the button presses here and there. I just felt like if you can speedrun a raid, it's not a raid. I want a raid that's like 40 to 50 minutes, an hour long. I want something where we get literally every single boss from Warframe, their cloned version, and we have to go and defeat them until we get the mega version of something big. Like, that's a raid. To me, the trials, I am happy that they're gone. And I hope that, I know, I'm happy that they're gone, but I hope that the revision that they're gonna do to it will give me that taste of, this is a raid, this is what I want. Like, I don't know, I wasn't satisfied and I apologize. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I apologize. I know, I'm gonna get a lot of hate.
All right. I'm going to move on to questions that are targeted specifically at some of our panelists. The first one will be Daniel. This comes from Kisa Prime. They said, do you wish you could stream more niche games without worrying about people not showing up? If so, then which niche games would you stream if you could?
So this is a hard question, and this is a question that a lot of, I would say, casters in general have. If you hone to yourself to one video game, you start getting a niche community that is there for that one game. Speaking of Warframe, I love Warframe. I ain't going anywhere from Warframe. I play a lot of other games on stream, but I will always come back to Warframe. But I'm always, and everyone else that plays Warframe, I'm just gonna say Warframe specifically because we do have a lot of casters that do love a lot of games, but unfortunately I wouldn't say stuck because we enjoy it, but we would like to play others, but we have that fear of our viewers leaving because, again, they want to watch Warframe. So, in my opinion, in my experiences that I've had, to be able to do so, because I've been able to balance it. So, there are games that I'm interested in. I inform my community about it. I let them know continuously, like, this is a game that I'm looking into. You may see me broadcasting it on stream. Please look into it, you know, kind of things like that. Get them hyped up into it. If everyone has their opinions. No, I don't like this game. Oh, that's cool, no worries, whatever. But I'm still gonna talk it up. What I do is I play Warframe. I get the community in. I have them watch while we play Warframe, get viewer games in, get everything. And once I'm ready, once we have a good enough peeps in and we're ready to go, I let everyone know, you have a choice. You can stay here, watch whatever content that I'm gonna do next, because I've been talking to you guys about this niche game or this game that I really wanna get into. We're gonna switch on over to this, stick around and watch. Or you can go on over to some other lovely broadcasters that are watching on Warframe, go right ahead, whatever you wanna do. So thankfully it has grown, because before, of course, I was always afraid. But now as I've grown and as you grow and your community grows, you learn when you can do that. I would say if you ever want to break out from Warframe to another game, always balance it and do it in the middle. If you broadcast a brand new game or a game that you've always wanted to play and you're known for Warframe though, don't expect so many people coming in because, again, they're there for that game. They're there for that Warframe. So do whatever it takes to pump them up, get them hype up for it, inform them, show them trailers, but in all honesty, you can't tell them what to do. You can't make them be there. So you just got to try the best you can.
All right. This next one is for Skill Up, and I feel like this needs a little bit of explanation before you answer the question. So this was from Parmesan, I think. What's a boating metaphor that you'd use to describe the sacrifice's effect on Warframe? So first of all, what's your boating metaphor? Explain that to people.
Okay, I did a review for Destiny 2 and I used like a metaphor for a boat at the front of it, and for some reason everyone really seemed to cling on to that as like a thing. Anyway,
What was the metaphor?
The metaphor was basically like Destiny's this big juggernaut, like it's a big giant oil tanker and it takes forever to turn, versus other games are a lot more agile, and for some reason everyone thought that was quite humorous, and I was like, guys, I was trying to be serious. So what was the question again?
The question was, what's a boating metaphor that you'd use to describe the sacrifice's effect on Warframe as a game?
It's the most random question ever. I think it's like Jabba's pleasure barge. It's big, dramatic shit goes down, and at the end someone dies, probably.
Oh my god.
That's it. That's what I'd say. Yeah.
All right, there's your boating metaphor. All right, from Big Daddy Moldler to Frozen Balls, best and worst things about Warframe.
Oh, you're really putting me on blast with this one.
Hey, you're prepared.
It's not an easy question to answer in a few words, but the worst thing it's okay. It's not the worst thing, but it's one of the bad things. Is the lack of transparency sometimes when it comes to numbers and information. But on the flip side, it's also one of the best things about Warframe, because you have so much transparency with your dev streams, with the communication that you have with the streams, being in constant communication with the partners. Like when the peculiar mods were first introduced, or when they were announced on the stream, I wasn't happy about that. There were so many of them.
Yes.
Rebecca literally jumped into Discord. She's like, let me just kind of talk to you about it. So that kind of transparency helps a lot, because it helps alleviate a lot of the, I guess, frustration or anger within the community, and also answer questions which may not have been obvious. But at the same time, there have been moments in the past where some information wasn't always available. Like case in point, exalted weapons. We didn't have the stats for them, so we had to figure them out from alternative services. But over time, you've added exalted weapons to the game. So again, I think it's like a double-edged sword. Sometimes that same thing, which is the best aspect, can sometimes be the worst. But I think overall, the better aspect is that you guys learn from it, and you always incorporate it in a way that it moves forward and it works well with the community itself. So that's what I would say.
That's a good answer. Thank you for not making me feel bad. All right, this question is for Gamu, for Mugamu. The game has been through many iterations and many changes. Has there ever been any particular part of the game that was changed multiple times, yet the initial / older versions were better ones for you?
Oh, that's a tough one. It's gonna depend on perspective a little bit. Okay, so here's the one I don't think is right. Void keys. A lot of people think void keys are better than relics. Oh, no. You were not there in 2014 when we were farming void parts for 20 hours.
I'm a void key person, man. I love void keys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just...
T1, 2, 3, and 4, man.
Yeah,
T3 life all the way.
Dude, we would fall... I'm telling you, if you're new to the game, we would fall asleep in void. Like when a person stopped moving, like, you just like, oh, he's asleep. Don't even worry about it. Like, he lost all his parts. I guess the question is, what has changed for the worse? That's tough. I can't really think of anything. I think a lot of people say that the game was darker and they like that better, but that's not even really true. We got Chains of Harrow, we've got The Sacrifice, that's pretty edgy. So, to be honest with you, at this point, probably nothing. I think the game has incrementally gotten better in pretty much all departments. I know that's a little shilly, but you know what? There is something. There's a part of the community that was really pure in the beginning. Like, I played this game so long ago that there was a time where mods would only drop and only one person could pick them up. And the community was so positive back then that people would stand around the mods and take turns picking them up. Like, it was crazy. So if there's one thing I kind of look back at with a little bit more nostalgia, is that time when people would not pick up a mod because they would allow you to pick it up first. So community a little bit, I kind of want to see a little bit more of that in the future. So not game related, sorry.
Hey, it's all right. All right, so I know I did say there would be audience Q&A, but we are running out of time, and I really want to do these trivia questions that they have no idea about. So we're gonna fly through those, and then we're gonna get to the end of it. So it's trivia time! Yay!
This is not going to go well.
First one is for Skill Up. Question is, what was the Ribbon Mod challenge that resulted in this reaction image?
No, that was, I forget which ribbon mod it was, but I had to not touch the ground and shoot 20 enemies. That was it.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
Not touch the ground and shoot 20 enemies.
Yeah, I was hanging on a wall, right? And then, was that the one?
We're about to find out. Here comes a video.
Oh, there's a video?
Hey, that was fun, yeah.
Thank God for Loki team. Thank God for this suggestion. I'm so going to drop off.
Told me that this is what I should do. I was like, yeah, no
damn
worries.
it! Damn you, Razer, Destiny 2 mouse. That is also shooting at my team. It's okay, we've got one more to go.
Don't forget the reactant.
Where is he?
You need more to
Can't see
open
one
that
more.
relic.
I have to shoot one more enemy at this point.
Come
and I've
on,
been
give me
waiting
one
this
more
whole
before I
time.
drop. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
Where did you go after that? Did you just leave?
I just went to cool off. I was like, I can't even at that point. I was done.
All right. Well, I'll give you a right answer because it was
Thank
good.
you. Thank
You
you
get a
very
right
much.
answer. All right. Next up, it's for Mr. Daniel the Demon. What moment in Warframe resulted in this image?
I feel like there's way too many, moments that happen with this one.
So, everyone was waiting for the sacrifice. We're all waiting for the sacrifice for the PC. And as you guys know, Rusty Finn, if you're here, please let me see you. If you're not, you're the legend, dude, because you created my favorite Tenno tune ever, the Warframe song. Holy crap, is it so good. But at a specific moment in my chat, which I tell them to cry, is when it's Space Mom. When he says, Space Mom. And this is specifically me singing and pretending to cry to Red Space Mom. Where have you gone? I've been missing you. Get out of the way! Song, sing it! Come on! I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna find you and save you and fight for you with my.
Correct answer. Very good, very good. All right. Next trivia is for Frozen Balls. What moment in Warframe resulted in this image?
Oh no, I don't know. I have no idea.
You have no idea?
I have these kind of moments way too much on stream. I have no
True.
idea.
I did tell you that it's from one of your Twitch clips, so it's a pretty popular one.
Huh. I have this moment way too much on stream. I don't know. I've got a memory of a goldfish.
One
What's
guess.
your name?
One guess.
I have no idea.
You have
I
no
honestly
idea?
I do not remember.
I love your laugh so much. I know this is gonna be a good clip. If you haven't heard his laugh, get ready.
I know this one.
It still goes through it.
I remember now. This went on for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I had to crop it. It had to be cropped. All right, so you get a wrong answer for that. You didn't even guess it. Magamu, I made yours harder. What nicknames did you give your first set of Orokin cipher glyphs in the sacrifice quest? Okay, wait, I'll help you.
Okay.
The red is the first one that you said. The green is the second one, and the blue is the third one.
So was it?
Your microphone is not by your mouth, by the way.
Was it something about ice cream?
You tell me.
I think it was like ice cream. It was a hard puzzle. What do you want from me?
Okay, what's the red one? What's red?
The red one is ice cream.
Okay, what is green?
The green is ice cream cone.
What's the blue one?
The blue one. I can't see it. Oh God, does it have something to do with the president? I stream like 3. I don't remember. I'm actually afraid. There isn't a video, is there?
There is a video.
I say a lot of things. I'm actually worried. I don't think DE is watching. That's the point.
I clipped this, so I was watching.
It might be political. I'm sorry. I actually don't remember.
Okay, but you're going with ice cream cone, and something political?
What was the last one?
Something political? That's
Remember what he said.
I think it was something uncomfortably political. Sorry.
All right, so that one we've got ice cream cone. No, we've got ice cream top, ice cream cone. And over here, we've got a scoop and an ice cream top.
What kind of soups do you drink? Or eat? Whatever.
It's like a Rorschach puzzle, dude. It just see what you see. I don't know. I failed that puzzle, by the way.
You did. You
Yeah.
failed that. Anyway, you made ice cream references, so there was none political.
Yeah, I was a little
Would I
worried.
have put that in this panel if it was political? Come on. Yeah, I would have. All right. All right, so that is actually all the time we have. I did have more planned, but sadly, we have a cosplay contest to do. I'm sorry, my friends. I love you. If you have any last things you want to say to the audience, now is the time.
Thank you for being here and watching us.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for being
Cheers.
here as well. It's been amazing.
You guys suck. Just kidding. You're amazing, and I love you. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Thank you, everyone,
they
for
say.
watching.